Hello there. Welcome to 3-1 exams. Today will be the last in the series of all we have been doing as far as oral English is concerned. Today we're looking at syllables. There are some things we need to really look at about syllables before we round off the series we've been looking at in oral English. Okay, let me say that a syllable simply refers to the vowel quality in a sound. Remember, the vowel quality in a sound. Okay, the vowel quality, the pronounceable vowel quality in a sound is simply called syllable. Now, syllables can be one, can be two or more by saying words of one syllable, two syllables, or more syllables. Sometimes you can call it polysyllables or whatever, okay? Words of one syllable, two syllables, or more, okay? What it simply means is that for each of these, it is actually pronounced. The pronunciation is evident and it is usually stressed. For every syllable that we identify, it is usually what stressed. Now, one significant thing about a syllable is that it is a pronounceable unit. Okay, look at it, that word pronounceable in quote. You can actually pronounce it. Remember that syllables could either be stressed or unstressed. Okay, we have unstressed syllable. That is what we technically called schwa that I had talked about. It's written like this, schwa. Okay, wherever it occurs, your voice must what? Fall. Your voice must drop. Okay, if it is unstressed. All right, if it is stressed, your voice has to rise. That is why you find this symbol on each of the stress level and then this one on unstressed syllable. Okay, I want to round up this aspect today so that we move on to what we need to do next. Now, to identify the syllable in a sound, okay, to identify it, isolate it. E.g., for a word like this, encouragement, look at this word, okay? There are about 4 syllables in it. How do you know? It is hereby divided here. Look at it here, okay? Like I said before, a syllable is the vowel quality, pronounceable vowel quality in a word. If you look at this place, this is a vowel. These two combined is a vowel pronounced together. This is a vowel, and that is also what? A vowel. You can see now it is separated. Look at them, each of them separated. We have 4 vowels here, okay? 4 vowels in the word encouragement, okay? Look at them, 4 of them. Okay, so to be able to identify a syllable, you divide them clearly so that you know where the syllable could be found. Look at this, for example, this here. Okay, there are 2 vowels here, O and what? U. But you don't pronounce them separately, they are pronounced together. Okay, they are pronounced together, not as a diphthong, but as one sound. Inko. Okay, for these 2 now, you say O. Okay, encouragement. Okay, so you can see encourage. This one here is never pronounced. Okay, ragement. Okay, so these are the various syllables that are in this sound. So we say each of the divisions has a syllable, but the second syllable is the one that receives the word stress in ko. So if you are talking about stress now, this is where the stress is found here. Okay, and so when it is written for you in exam, they will write something like this. Okay, this one that is written in uppercase is the one that receives the word stress. But we've talked about stress already. Okay, since it's mentioned, that's why let me just bring it out here. Okay, what our concern is syllables. Now, below here we said, can you give examples of words with stress on the 3rd syllable? There are instances that you could be asked question to pronounce or to produce a syllable on the first, to produce the stress on the 1st syllable, stress on 2nd syllable, stress on 3rd syllable, etc, etc. Look at this one here. This one says, can you give examples of words with their stress on the 3rd syllable? In other words, there are more than 3 syllables in some of the things we see here. Okay? The question is asking you to give them the stress on the third syllable. Remember when we did this encouragement here, okay, we had about 4 syllables there, okay. Now, in these other examples below here, there are more than 3 syllables, okay. That's why the examiner is asking you to give example of the words that have their stress on the third syllable. Look at the first one here. The first one here is this word locomotive, okay. Look at this here. This one syllable, another syllable here, another one here, okay. Now this other syllable here is another one, then but this is not pronounced. Then the second one here is this one syllable here, another syllable here, another syllable here. This is not what pronounced. Then you have one syllable here, this is another syllable, this is another syllable, that is not pronounced, okay. We have one syllable here, another one here, another one here, another one here, then there's another one here, even though it is not identified. But the question says, give examples of words with stress on the third syllables. Can you do that? Okay. Now, these 4 now examples given to us here, if you find out, you realize that their stresses are on the third syllables if well pronounced. Like this one, it is pronounced locomotive. Locomotive. Okay, so if it's in your exam now, it will be written like this. Okay? Locomotive. That means the stress is on the third syllable. So if you divide them, what you have is something like this. It is on this. Locomotive. Okay? The second one there is generate. Okay? If you divide it again carefully, you have something like this. You realize that it is pronounced generate. Your stress is on the third syllable here. This is made so because it is well pronounced. The third one here is this. Okay, if you look at this third one, the stress is also on this one here. Remember, this is not pronounced, so it becomes abdicate. Finally, we have this one here. Okay, we have sensibility. Okay, so for all of these 4 words here, their stresses are on the third syllables. Like I said, there will be words, or there could be words that their stresses would be on the second syllable, on the fourth syllable, or on the first syllable. All you need to do is to be able to pronounce them correctly, in line with how it is pronounced in the dictionary. Be able to arrive at the word correct stress pattern. Okay. Now, for the purpose of how tricky questions appear in examinations, okay, let's look at these few below. Okay, it says, in each of these below, choose the options that have their stress on the first syllable. This time around, on the first word syllable. Before now, we saw it on the word third syllable. Third syllable. Now, we're looking at questions on the word. They said on the word first syllable. On the fourth syllable. Okay, that means the way we pronounce each of these words below will determine whether the syllables are well placed or not. First syllable, fourth syllable. Now, the first one here is what? This word here. How is it pronounced? Is it madam or madam? All right, is it madam or what? Madam. That is A. B. Is it invent or invent? Okay, that is for B here. Then C, is it 18 or 18? Then D, is it command or command? you know that we are looking for the syllables, the stress on the first syllable. This word cannot be invent. This cannot be 18. This cannot be what? Command. And this cannot be madam, but what? Madam. That is why A is the correct answer. So for this word, it is what? Madam. But in this part of the world, we often pronounce it as madam, madam. This is not the proper thing. The right thing is what? Madam, madam. That is why the stress for it is on the first what? Syllable here. Okay? Madam. If it's to be written out, it's something like this. Okay? Look at the second example there. Commute. B is intend. C as a verb. They say we should pronounce this C example as a verb. And I told you before that if anything is given to you and it's a verb, the first syllable can never be stressed. The second one will be what? Stressed. So because this one here is a verb, it will be pronounced as what? Import. Okay? Then D, they say it should be pronounced as what? As a what? Noun. If it is as a noun, the first syllable will receive the stress, second one will be unstressed. So this becomes export. Here is stressed. Therefore, the one that received the stress is option D here. So A is commute, intend, import, and then export. You can see the examiner will ask you based on what you want. If the word is a meaningful pair that can be used as a noun as well as a verb, he will tell you whether he wants it to pronounce as a noun or pronounced as a verb. Like I said, there are rules to this. If anything is a verb, the first syllable will be unstressed. Your voice can never rise. Your voice will drop, but the second one will rise, just like this, import. Now, if this import here is to be a noun, it will be import. Okay? Now, look at this one here. They say it should pronounce like a noun. That is why it is what? Export. But if they had asked us to pronounce it as a verb, it would have been what? Export. Do you understand? Now, another one here is 19. Endurance, mother, and then a noun. If you check, the one that received the stress is what? Option C, mother. The stress is on this place. This is 19. Endurance, a noun. Okay? Their stresses are not on the first word syllable. You can see. So here we are looking at words, okay, that their stresses are on the first syllable. But before now, we saw words that their stresses were on the third word syllable. Okay? So it can be first syllable, it can be second syllable, it can be third syllable, depending on what the examiner wants per time. Here we're looking at what? Words that are on the first syllable. Is that understood? Now, let's give examples of words with their stress on. Okay? We want to look at words that can have their stress on the first syllable, second syllable, third syllable, fourth syllable, fifth syllables, etc. etc. Okay? At least let's see whether we can give at least one or two examples for each. Okay? For example, for words of first syllable, you are familiar with this word. How is it pronounced? Government. Not government, but what? Government. That means the stress is on the first word syllable here. Okay, there's another tricky word that I'll have to show you today in case you come across it in exam. Okay, this word we pronounce it as democracy, but in actual fact the stress is on the first syllable. Democracy. Remember, it doesn't. The root of the word is not in English. Okay, it can sound like demo. It's not. The stress is on the first word syllable. Just note it now as a trick. Note that if you see this word in exam, the stress is not on the second syllable. By saying demo, it is on the first syllable. On the first syllable here. Take note. So we are looking at giving examples of words that could be on the first syllable. We have seen government, democracy, and several other examples. There are more. Okay? Plenty of examples. Now, what about words of second syllables? Okay? Look at this. What is this word? This is announcement. This is on stress. The stress is on what? Second syllable here. Okay? Your stress is here. This is one syllable, this is another syllable. Okay? But this is not stressed. This is where the stress is what? Found. Okay? Words that we can find that stress on the second word syllable. Okay? What about this one?